Coming up on In Your Neighborhood, its name is synonymous with family fun in our area, and now it's known around the country. And all of the recognition is happening on a very big year for Knoebels Amusement Resort. This episode of In Your Neighborhood is brought to you by Data for fast and reliable internet, and Seven Mountains Media, your story, our health.
In the heart of Pennsylvania, Palmerton rose as an industrial powerhouse, fueling America's growth through the industrial age. Like our great nation, they endured, innovated, and thrived, transitioning from zinc to the core of tomorrow. Today, Data delivers blazing fast fiber optic connections for businesses, powering AI centers and innovation. As we celebrate America's 250th birthday, our hometown of Palmerton symbolizes the enduring American spirit. Data, proudly powering America's next chapter.
The thing that I love about the job the most is it doesn't get boring because every day is different. But at the end of the day, we're always trying to solve those same problems that each business has.
I don't look at it as I'm going into advertising or marketing. I'm becoming a business partner with the companies that I get to work with.
It definitely is important to keep your mind open of new opportunities because they're everywhere.
For more information or to become a marketing strategist, head to 7mmsusquehanna.com.
Stay connected from the couch to the patio with SECV Internet. Whether it's gaming inside or a movie night under the stars, SECV's fiber-powered internet delivers a direct, dedicated connection to your home to keep everything and everyone connected, inside and out. And because we're local, help is always close to home. Add Plume Whole Home Wi-Fi free for 2 months. Visit secv.com/freeplume.
I've been so many places in my life and time.
Everything has to come to an end. It's a part of life. Nothing is forever.
I was singing this song.
Welcome to In Your Neighborhood. I'm your host, Chris O'Rourke, and when you're 100 years old, everything is bigger. We're at Knoebels today, where they are celebrating their huge anniversary all summer long. All aboard indeed, because this is a season unlike any other for Knoebels Amusement Resort. There are signs of the big occasion everywhere you look. From the rather large version of its famous benches that you saw me on earlier, and which is proving to be a natural gathering spot for photo ops, to banners around the park and the headquarters gift shop near the Pioneer train. Inside it, you'll find just about anything you could want sporting the official logo for this year. Fun fact, if you haven't heard this yet, the golden intertwined zeros in many of the 100s represent the brass rings that many of you have pulled while riding its famous carousel. At the various eateries across the park, you'll also be able to purchase these, Knoebels' first ever commemorative cup that you can buy for $18 and get refills all summer long for just $1. The decorations spread across the park and the items at the shop are just the surface of a campaign that got started a few years ago.
So then it was, flags, and it was staff shirts, and it was letterhead, website, Instagrams, all the social media, billboards, and then that throwback. Then we did a whole website recreation. So if you go on our website this year, we tried to find old pictures of these classic amusement park rides that Grandma and Grandpa rode, and of yesteryear, and then turned it into what it looks like today. So you can actually click, like say your swipe left or right on the rides on our website, and it showcases old versus new.
Another way to literally walk from old to new is to stroll toward the back of the Knoebels History Museum. The building is tucked between the log flume and the Black Diamond Ride. You'll see on the enormous timeline that it was during the 1800s that the Knoebels family purchased the land known as Peggy's Farm from the children of William Penn, the founder of Pennsylvania. A copy of the deed hangs inside the museum. The Knoebels established a sawmill on their property, and the convergence of the two creeks here also drew a group known as the Tally-Hoes, who paid to enjoy the swimming hole. By the start of the 20th century, the Knoebels began to provide picnic tables, benches, and refreshments to the swimmers. They started building cottages about 11 years later, with Knoebels lumber forming a year after that. But it wasn't until 1926, as the timeline shows, that an ad was put in the papers for Knoebels Grove and its recently completed Crystal Pool. This is one of the first existing photos of the pool, and that's how it all started. These are the two people who got it all rolling, Ole Henry and Hattie Knoebel. They were the great-grandparents of current park president Brian Knoebel, who got together with us in late May for a very unique experience, conducting an interview with two cameras on the Ferris wheel, which is billed as a large modern wheel. I'm sure it was quite a sight to see us getting on. Brian's earliest memories include handing out cups of ice cream as a little kid, and separating tickets by color so the family could track how much money each ride made each day.
What was it like being a Knoebel kid growing up in this park? Is it you basically were here every day?
I was, yeah. Knoebels was our backyard, and it was different. So again, born 1973, it's just what my parents did for a living. Mm-hmm. It's no different than what any other child, because we weren't really on the map yet. Some people say we got put on the map when we put in Jetstar roller coaster. I don't really remember that too much. What I remember is a child playing kickball in front of our park office that still exists today. The payphone booth was first base. A garbage can was second base. A little crack in the concrete, and our guest services was third base, and home plate was a tree stump. And in a 45-minute game of kickball, you only had to stop playing about twice to allow families to walk by because you couldn't hit them. Everything was fair game at the park office, the Fascination Building. If you were lucky enough to kick it into the flyer, that was a home run. Sometimes you'd kick the ball, it would go toward the flyer, and from the wind, it would push the ball back, and you could catch it, and you were out. Even though you might have run the bases already, you caught the ball and you were out. When the Phoenix came in 1985, it almost got busy. And guess what? My dad flattened my kickball. So it was just we would play hide and go seek in the Haunted Mansion. That opened 1972. We would play hide and go seek in the lumberyard. We drove golf carts around. Kind of got in trouble a few times for playing bumper cars with the golf carts. So my mom never said I was bad. Mom said I was busy. But people would tell my dad he absolutely deserved me because he was the same.
Brian and 8 other Knoebel family members are actively involved in the park's operation. He says they're firemen, going where the fire is. And if that means helping to park cars or putting wristbands on people, then that's what they do. A cousin, Trevor, came up with the idea for a second history museum that would be housed in one of their most historical buildings that used to be where you could roller skate. Relics of that bygone era and activity hang in the museum next to the timeline. You'll find old rides, games, and roller skating items in the new museum they're calling the Rink when it opens on July 5th. While that's a big initiative this year, much of the 100th celebration will center or be centered, depending on when you watch this, around the 4th of July weekend. There will be a statue unveiling, a parade, food, entertainment, cake, ice cream, and even the opening of a time capsule that was sealed 25 years ago. And then another one will be sealed. Those are the things you'd expect from a big anniversary celebration. They're also going to show off the golden tickets they've received over the years. They are the Oscars or Emmys for the amusement park industry, and Knoebels has quite a few. The events are also an opportunity to thank some of the long-serving employees, their legacy staff, as Brian called them. They're people who make his job simple, wearing their shirt with pride and a smile on their face, like Lillian Klein. And everyone at Knoebels is now going, Lillian who? How about this then? Grandma, who you'll find in the kitchen of the International Food Court. She was making the very popular French toast and breakfast sandwiches when we were there. She, of course, got the name Grandma when her first grandchild came along 30 years ago, but then it stuck here as well, where she has been working since 1969. Not all here, at various jobs throughout the park.
Why did you start working here in the first place?
My husband ran the train and he used to tour to harm. He needed help down there. So I used to go down and help at the train, and then I helped at the pool.
So have you worked, how many different jobs have you worked here?
I ran some rides for Barbara. I did ticket booth for Barbara. I ran the food stand at the pool, and I ran the food stand at the Alamo, the front counter.
Okay, and now you're here.
And when they started breakfast, they asked me to help because I didn't go into work till 11. And
now here you are.
And here I am.
Still here.
Still here.
So how many years have you been doing this?
This I'm doing since 79 or 80. I can't remember which year we started breakfast.
Right here, you've been working since 79 or 80?
No, we're here since I think 98 was it? I think we moved down here. We were over at the potato barn.
Okay.
Then we moved to the steakhouse, and then we moved down here.
So what has kept you working at Knoebels all these years?
I love it.
Why do you love it?
I meet a lot of people.
Okay.
I correspond with a lot of people I've met here.
Okay.
So that keeps me going.
And how does it feel to have been here 57 years, did you say?
Feels good.
On the 100th anniversary.
That feels real good.
The 81-year-old grandma also then told us a story that had my eyes welling about a little boy who walked up to her one day at the park.
He came last year and he called me up and he said, "Are you my grandma?" I said, "I'm everyone's grandma." He goes, "Oh my God, I got a grandma." He didn't have a grandma. So Mother's Day, every holiday, they come up to my house and he brings me a little something. I have a necklace for grandma.
While grandma may be the longest serving employee of the park, she's not the oldest. We have to take a hop, skip, and a jump past the log flume to the steakhouse where we found Curly. No, that's not her name. It's just another nickname she's had since she was born because of her curly hair. Clara Weichel is 90 years old and has been working for Knoebels for 39 years.
Why are you still working when you're 90?
Because that's something to do and I enjoy it.
Okay. All right. So how many different jobs have you worked at Knoebels over that time?
Well, I worked over on the other side at the fudge shop and that, and I worked that all the time. I made waffles,
Okay.
and now I'm over here.
Now, how long have you been here?
About 6 years.
6 years. Okay. And do you just work the counter, or are you?
No, we make make waffles, we do the meat.
Okay.
And
What do you enjoy about working here?
the people are so nice and we have fun together. And it's nice. I enjoy working.
Okay. And how do you feel on the 100th anniversary of Knoebels?
It's great. That's why I said I was making sure I stayed here to see that.
While Brian points to the legacy employees and acknowledges his family's strong commitment to the success of the park, the other key here is you and your family making the decision to come here for a fun day. As some of the park's commercials show, it's all about the family here, having fun, enjoying food over all those years.
So as we wrap up talking about the 100th anniversary, we transition to discussions about the present and possibly a little bit about the future. But first, the tunnel's coming, and I'm gonna scream.
I love going out and meeting with different businesses and finding out how they work, where their profit margins are, what their pain points are. I just love learning, and so every day I'm learning.
While it's a collaborative effort, you're also given the freedom to work at almost as a lone wolf, but then also, in a collaborative environment as well.
For more information or to become a marketing strategist, head to 7mmsusquehanna.com.
Neighbors helping neighbors. It's how a community works. At SECV, we're more than just your internet provider, we're your neighbor. We understand the importance of staying connected with fast, reliable internet, TV, and phone services. And we're here for you with local friendly support. Your money stays where it belongs, right here in our community. Invested in people, innovation, and the technology that keeps us all connected. We're proud to be your hometown provider, working hard every day to make our community better.
There are a lot of avenues you can take to market your business, but one easy choice to make. The SECV8 Community Bulletin Board is an inexpensive way for you to get directly into the homes of the potential customers you want to reach. The Community Bulletin Board costs $6 a day and can reach up to 54,000 households. You can find out more by heading to secv8.com.
If you were to make a list of the top amusement parks for this year, you might put one of the Disney World parks at the top, or Disneyland, or maybe Universal Studios, or Dollywood, or even Hershey Park here in Pennsylvania. And you would be wrong. As anyone in our area could tell you, and now TripAdvisor agrees, Knoebels Amusement Resort is the top amusement park in the United States. Knoebels has held the title of the largest free admission park in the U.S. for what seems like forever. And this latest feather in its cap is just another hurricane-force wind in the sails of this destination spot in the central Susquehanna Valley. As you heard Brian say in the last segment, this park has been building momentum since the Phoenix opened in 1985. Add TripAdvisor recognition to the fact that they are celebrating their 100th year, and you have the recipe for their best year in, well, a century.
The national recognition that this grove, as you call it, is getting, if I would ask my dad, 87 years old now, he's our president emeritus, if I would ask him, did you ever think Knoebels would get this national recognition? Without hesitation, in his Marine Corps baritone voice, he's going to say, of course I did. and he's probably right. Nobody's going to argue with him. Did I ever think that? No.
Brian tells us that when he walks around the park, he's constantly stopped by people who talk to him about how much they love Knoebels. It's a humbling feeling for him to know that people have chosen to come here instead of going to another park, a Phillies game, hiking, or kayaking. For some, it's multiple times, up into the double digits. Brian says that means his family and their team of employees are doing something right, and it makes his heart and his family's heart very happy. He told us they will always remain a free admission park. That's the thing everyone who writes about Knoebels touts, and the free parking too. With that last part in mind, if you head to that timeline again in the museum and go to 2025, you'll see this plaque, which shows a picture of the parking lot. For the longest time, Knoebels leased the land for their main and overflow lots so guests could park for free. Last year, they bought them. So the question becomes, how does Knoebels Amusement Resort retain its feel and atmosphere while at the same time acknowledging the national attention?
A few years ago, my Aunt Margaret, I call her NEM, I was too small to say the word Margaret, so I call her NEM. She said, I have a question for you. You advertise as Pennsylvania's hometown amusement park. If you always want to remain Pennsylvania's hometown amusement park, at what point is it too much? Is it too big? And I thought, that's a great question. Do you know that here I am 10, 15 years later, I ask myself that same question every week. How much bigger do we want to get? Route 487 is only one lane in and one lane out. And our parking lot is only so big. Our bathrooms can only handle so much. So one of the neat things about Knoebels is we're 20 minutes from Interstate 80 and we're about 30 minutes from Interstate 81. So when people are coming in from Branson, Missouri or Milwaukee or wherever they're coming from, sheesh, who put a park here in the middle of nowhere? But I can tell you the community wants Knoebels 1983. They don't want Route 487 any busier than what it is. You can only handle so much. The local football stadium, Southern Columbia High School, my alma mater, can't host the Super Bowl. Knoebels can't handle the crowds that Hershey Park and Dorney Park and Disney and Silver Dollar City can handle. So we often question, at what point is it enough? How do you handle that national recognition? We know how to get people here. We don't know how to tell people, don't come on a Saturday. It's a very tough call. So if you have that answer, I'd love to hear it. I'm open ears.
So when the Knoebels Brain Trust gets together for meetings in a conference room near the Ferris wheel, they talk about capacity and they talk about the future. Are they headed in the right direction? One way to answer that question is with a new ride, one that grabs everyone's attention. That happened a few years ago with the very unique Flying Turns, and then with Impulse, which was touted as the current Knoebels generation's first big thrill ride.
When you own your own business, anybody watching this knows there aren't very many perks. But getting on an airplane and flying from park to park, riding roller coasters, well, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't so bad. And we were listening to our guests. My generation would come out and talk to them, what do you want to see? What do you want to do? You know, we're not a park that's going to twist you and turn you upside down. We're the park that kids are going to come to Knoebels when you're a baby and up until you want to be that daredevil. And then you're going to go to another park for a while. And then when you become a parent, you know what? Then you're going to, life goes full circle. You're going to come back and then you're going to go through the motions again with your kids and then maybe even your grandkids. But as we talk to people, they did want to go upside down. They did want to get turned inside out. Not with as many roller coasters as some other parks have. So we had a footprint and we had a budget and we had a time frame. So we talked to ride manufacturers and we found one, and you know, it was so last minute that at midnight, the night before we opened in 2015, we got a call that said, you can proceed with opening. Midnight the night before. I chewed my nails off. I was nervous. I wasn't asleep when they called me. I was nervous Nelly because we had press coming and what if? What are we going to do if? Like, are we going to show them another ride? And it opened and it was spectacular. It's a very, very fun ride. We're glad we went through it. and we talk. We talk about, we run scenarios through our heads that mom, we're going to say that 33-year-old mom is the decision maker in the house. And in the off season, she's sitting on a laptop on a snowy day with her children. And what do you want to do this summer? Do you want to go to the shore? Do you want to go to Knoebels? Do you want to go to another park? What do you want to do? And if we don't offer something new, something unique every so often, they're going to go somewhere else. And then there's a chance we're going to lose them. Any business person knows that you have to spend money to make money. So we do shop. We have some ride manufacturers coming next week to talk about something coming down the pike that I'm not going to tell you what it is.
The day we were here was right after Memorial Day weekend. The park was back open every day, and there was already a good crowd on a very sunny, pleasant day. That's despite the fact that many area schools were still in session. It had all the feels of a typical Knoebels summer day. People enjoying rides, chowing down on the great food, and taking in the experience of an amusement park that for many of us is just a quick car trip away. But as we just told you, this is going to be anything but a typical year.
We'll see you again next time, maybe from in your neighborhood.
For me, it was anything but a typical ending to a normal taping for this show. Our first idea was to videotape the ending with me on the Phoenix. As a result, I got to ride
I've never
in the
been
front,
on this ride from
which
the front.
I've never done before, and got bounced around like crazy. But because of concerns over audio, we taped a second ending, which I actually like better because it gave me and many others a chance to do something special.
Celebrating 100 years at Knoebels and thinking about 100 more. If you have a segment idea for us, send it to us at IYN@SCCV8.com. Stop by our Facebook page or even visit our YouTube page. That's going to do it for us. I'm your host, Chris O'Rourke. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next time, maybe from in your neighborhood. And happy 100th, Knoebels.
Happy 100th, Knoebels! Happy 100th, Knoebels! Happy 100th, Knoebels!
Congratulations on 100 years. Happy 100th, Knoebels. Happy 100th anniversary, Knoebels.
Happy 100th, Knoebels!
Thank you very much, Knoebels, for being here for 100 years for Family of Fun. We've had a great time, and we're blessed having you here. Thanks very much.